with an adjustment of my chair, which is probably far too noisy. We are back in Westfall. We went to Lochmodan, got Stormpike's orders, brought them back to Stormwind. Yep, did all that. Didn't forget to hand it in, as I worried for a second there. And now we are back in Westfall, and I'm going to sell some of the stuff we got. So, before we started this recording, I was talking about Skyrim and about the travel system in this game. So, to get here, I was in Lochmodan, and there were multiple ways that I could have taken to get back down to where we are from where we went, right? Actually, I probably shouldn't say that. I might as well keep it if I'm going to use it. Settle this, settle this, settle this, settle this. I think that's all I want to sell. And now, I believe I need to go kill more boars. Gortos liver buy. I need a load for that. And then for Westfall stew, I need okra, which I still can't quite remember where you get that from. And malachite, which clearly come from Malox. So, there were multiple ways I could have used to get back, right? And because I had some quests around there, I chose, like, a sort of pretty walk-heavy path, right? I used a lot of what was sort of in the game as travel methods, sort of base up, right? The least intrusive on the sort of mythos, you know? So, I walked from Lochmodan over to Ironforge. Then from Ironforge, I took the Deep Run tram to Stormwind. The reason I didn't fly that way was because I had a quest to hand in Ironforge, a quest to hand in Deep Run tram, and then a quest to hand in Stormwind. And instead of flying from Fesselmar to Ironforge, and then flying to each location, then leaving, going through what I did, and then flying back, I felt like it's better to have it as one continuous journey. And this got me thinking about travel systems in games and on to Skyrim. So I'm quite a big proponent of avoiding fast travel whenever you can in games, because I feel like fast travel, oh my god, run the hell away, Dust Devils are scary. I feel like fast travel ruins your sort of connection to your sense of the world, right? I feel like I know this world so much because I've travelled through it so many times, so many places, right? And the bits of the world that I don't know most out of here are the bits that I don't travel through as frequently. The Badlands, right? There's not many reasons you go through the Badlands, so I don't know it very well, right? But wetlands, travel through it all the time to connect all the places in the world, and so I know it really well. There's all these sort of... And I like the way this game deals with travel. Deep Run tram, boats, zeppelins, great example of this. There are parts in the game put in to help you get across the large pieces of terrain that would be uncomfortable to have to walk through every time. But generally, they want you to walk everywhere, right? You do have flight paths to connect major locations together, but there's, one flight path in each zone. Some zones won't have a flight path for you if it's not if it's mainly a horde zone and there's not much alliance there might not be something there for you. And I feel like this is a good way because it gives you points of fast travel. It gives you ways to shorten the travel, which makes you feel better if you are the sort of, lazy, impatient person who just wants to get everywhere quickly. But it forces you to at least partially explore the world and experience it as a place rather than as points, One of the big problems with modern WoW, one of the things that Kungan talks about quite eloquently, and I'll see if I can sort of copy what he did I'll use this because it'll take a while to open Paint, right? So here's just a new tab in Google, right? And I'm going to use the draw thing because this is easier, right? So the old World of Warcraft, right? Vanilla World of Warcraft is this, right? You've got all this place to go. There are all these points. There's a main point that you go out from, right? But there's this map, and you move from point to point and stuff. And if I want to go to Duskwood, I've got to walk down this path and along there, you know, and then through these woods to get to Darkshire, you know. And there's all these sort of, you know, points. You really get into the world, you know. It feels like a world. Whereas modern WoW is this, right? So there's a box here, and this is Stormwind, and this is where your dude stands, right? And your dude is there, and you then bring up a piece of UI on there which has a load of things, and you're like, okay, I want to pick that one. And then you wait for a time. Then that thing will instantly take you to another box, right? Which is, you know, let's say it's Arathi Basin, right? So there are the like bases of Arathi Basin, right? And then the beach home base. Right? And that's like the river or whatever. I can't remember how it probably like forks out like that. But then, once you finished Arathi Basin, or, you know, that could be an instance, a raid, whatever, you just go back to this square. And this is the problem with modern WoW, right? Is that there's not a whole world of Warcraft, right? There's just these sort of bits that you jump between, right? And while I close that without saving it, in WoW, in vanilla WoW, and in a lot of games like this, it feels like a world, right? And Skyrim has that, right? It has in there this big world which you can move between, and it feels like a connected thing. A lot of things are put there, and they're not important to the gameplay or to the story or anything, but you see them and they're important to the world. They make the world feel like a real place, and a lot of the quest lines and stuff you do are just sort of a bit meaningless. But, you know, you go to a brewery and there are, you know, some stuff you can do there, and it makes you feel like you're like, oh, of course there'd be a brewery, right? It makes sense, you know. When I'm going around here, the fact that there are these farms like that, those buildings there don't do anything. They mark the other end of the farm to that building, which is where you get the quests, right? But it being there makes you go, yeah, of course, right? This isn't just a big empty landscape with certain points of interest, because they make it feel like a world by putting stuff in sort of sensible places and drawing the horizon very well is something that I will be talking about if I go do some more in-depth YouTube videos on this game. So my suggestion for Skyrim would be to have some sort of situation where so in Skyrim, the problem I find is that you get fast travel everywhere, and it's not a problem for me because I just don't use it. But a lot of people do use it, and I feel like, you know, I don't want to, you know, I don't want a Nazi mod just take it away from them and be like, no, you are not allowed, bad Snake, you're not allowed to fucking use fast travel, right? I don't want to do that. I have no reason to decide what these other people can do with their stuff, right? But at the same time, I feel like it makes the game worse, right? And it makes for a group of people who expect that in games and won't play games that don't have that, which makes overall gaming worse, possibly, you know. So I feel like a good solution to that sort of thing is something like what this game does with teleports, right? Because late game, right, you know, we're with our guild and we want to all go to some place, like, we don't want to have to all separately make our ways there and take different amounts of times. I knew it was these things. Nice. Right? And so you give us a way to easily travel around, right? And that was done through Warlock summoning portals, if you want to summon them to any location on the map, that you just need to get a couple people there to start off with, or with mage portals if you want to summon to a major location. And I feel like, why can't you, like, wouldn't it be a good idea to make the world more of a world by not having you just, you know, bitbot port around wherever you want, whatever, but still allow people to zip around with fast travel by making fast travel like an obtainable skill, like a spell, like some sort of teleport spell. And then, you know, if you want to be lazy, you can, like, go for that early, right? You can find out where it is from some text chat from a quest early, and then you can go, okay, so to teleport, I need to... Like, my idea was, in one of the early quests where you would expect someone to use fast travel, like nowadays in the game where there is a sort of, like, use fast travel to get here sort of hint to sort of push the player down that path. Instead of doing that, you have a mage character in the story teleport them somewhere. And then you have an option for them to ask, like, that seems super useful, like, how can I get teleporting? And they can say, you know, well, you know, if you become a mage, you can learn teleporting, right? And maybe even have that, you know, doable through just learning magic, or you can fast track that by going to the mage school and doing some mage school side quest stuff. Because then there are multiple ways to do it. You can either do the slow way, like eventually I want to teleport, but I don't need it, so I'm gonna, you know, just get it through leveling my magic, right? Or maybe you're like, I want it right now, or I don't want to level my magic, I don't want to be a mage character, so I'm just gonna go to the magic school and just learn how to do that as a specific, as like a side thing in there, right? Or you have the, you know, I don't want to do magic at all. Maybe I'm doing some sort of theme playthrough where I just don't like magic. I don't want to go to a mage place. Screw that. And then you can go, well, then you just, you know, use the transport that is there for you. Or maybe you add some sort of other way, you know. Maybe there is someone in the game, because in Skyrim as well you get followers, right? I don't like followers. But that could be a thing about certain followers, right? You could have a certain follower or a couple of certain followers who are in the game specifically as, you know, the special follower bonus they have, which makes them, you know, different to other followers, is that they will teleport you around. And, you know, maybe if you level them up enough, or maybe they themselves can just do fast travel for you. Because then, you know, it becomes a mechanic rather than just being a way to skip through the world. A way to get through the world without exploring it and without sort of seeing how it connects and how it goes together. It becomes like something that's part of the game and there's reasons for, you know. And the ever-present disclaimer is that I think Skyrim's an excellent game. I really like it. Unfortunately, I won't be streaming it or anything because it is one of the many games that for some reason has awful problems with playing on dual monitors. I cannot get, without a third-party program, which I don't want to have to install, I cannot get the mouse to lock to the screen. So it you know, in a game like this, it's fine because my mouse goes out the screen. I just, you know, I don't click. The furthest I want to move my mouse is there, so I could click on something there, right? If there's something like over there, and I click on the other side, I can do that. But in Skyrim, it's obviously first person, so if I want to turn certain far to the left, even though I, you know, have just turned like this, my mouse is now technically on my left screen, and I click, and instead of just clicking, just attacking in Skyrim or whatever, that will pull up my, you know, that will click on Internet Explorer and minimize my Skyrim or whatever, right? And so that really sucks, and so I will not be playing it. Maybe, you know, maybe I will look it up and I will see if the remastered version of Skyrim fixes that, and it might be a reason to get it. I think you get it for free if you already have it, don't you? Because that would be stupid to buy. I don't know. I haven't looked it up much because I wasn't thinking of buying it, because I was like, if I want to play it again, I could just, you know, mod it and play it again. But if it fixes that issue, I might have to throw some more pennies at them. Although after what they did to Fallout, I'm worried about throwing more pennies at them. I said this to many of my close friends, but I feel like if you look at all of their big RPGs since Oblivion and up to Fallout 4, you can see a trend in their game design from sort of more old school hardcore nature of, you know, Morrowind, Oblivion, to the very sort of watered down, simplified sort of way that it's done. And I feel like it fits because Skyrim and Oblivion I've always loved, and I love them both in different ways. And I personally prefer Skyrim, but you know, I can see why people prefer Oblivion. It has a lot of the reasons people give for preferring Oblivion. I listen to and I go, no, that's fair. I think, you know, they say, oh, I prefer it because these mechanics are different. And I'm like, no, actually, yeah, I think those mechanics are better than the way they are in Skyrim. You know, I just didn't get into the world of it, I guess. I really got into the world of Skyrim. And some of the mechanics in there are just so nicely done. It has that... It's just pop enough, you know, without losing any of its sort of deepness. Whereas... And it's always fit as well that my favourite of their games is Fallout 3, which sits in the middle of those two games. Because I feel like that has the perfect balance for me. And, you know, I might be a bit more hardcore than the general gamer population, which is why, you know, Skyrim was more popular overall. But I think that had, like, the excellent mix between being a sort of old school RPG... hardcore, not hard school. And between being just a bit more chill, a bit more modern, a bit more relaxed. And, yeah, I'm worried that going with this trajectory, that with the next Elder Scrolls game, they're gonna go even more Fallout 4. You know, I mean, obviously the hope is that there was enough backlash about the quality of Fallout 4 as a sort of product, you know, in the sort of the way that it's made and such, and there's enough backlash against some of the features that they might hold back with that. Like, I'm really hoping that they're going to do some major improvements, or that they might actually just make a whole new engine for the next Elder Scrolls game. Like, and I'm not sure that will happen, but I'm at least real improvements to that engine. I really hope that happens. But I feel like I could deal with it being on a shitty engine as long as it doesn't get more pop than Fallout, or even be as pop as Fallout 4. Because if it is, I'm just really not going to get into it like I didn't get into Fallout 4, I feel. And that worries me. And it's a similar trend to bring it back to the game that I'm playing, because for some reason I'm talking about Fallout today. It's a similar trend to WoW. You know, WoW has been on that same trend over the same period of time, essentially. And I feel like, in a similar way to Skyrim, where Skyrim has now gone too far, or not Skyrim, but that company, Obsidian or whatever's games. I hope it's Obsidian, because I honestly cannot remember. But the Elder Scrolls / Fallout series as a sort of continual thing that runs side by side and exists together. Yeah, I feel like... Ooh, sec, folks. I like how there are certain quests in here. I hope I finished that thought, because my brain is all over the place and I just am moving on to this next one. I like how quests like this, Handful of Oats quest, which everyone remembers poor old Blanchy, and, you know, rip in peace. Sorry for anyone who hasn't played through this zone in New WoW, but rip in peace. And I hope there are more Blanchy memes. I hope they add Blanchy as, you know, some sort of mount or some sort of special character in some event in, like, HOTS or something, or as a Hearthstone card. Oh, I'd love a poor old Blanchy Hearthstone card. Oh, that'd be great. But I like how there are quests like this, which you could, and I remember doing when I was a kid, you could go, alright, I need to collect the oats, and then you run around the map looking for oats, and just killing stuff randomly and looking for oats, and then you complete that and do that. But I feel like that's not how it designed. I feel like it was meant to be a sort of connecting quest, you know? it's a quest that, you know, goes throughout the whole zone. You know, there are sacks of oats placed everywhere. And without the quest, they don't seem odd, you know, these don't seem out of place, but when you're looking for them and you're going through and you're getting them, they are everywhere. And it becomes one of those things that you don't need to sort of think about as, you know, I must collect all of the oats. But as a, you know, like how modern games have, you know, your achievements, your collectibles or whatever. It's like a collectible, it's just put around the place, except it's a collectible that the mission is directly telling you to collect. But I sort of feel nowadays like it's the sort of thing you can do at your own pace, you know, and you can just sort of look around and just be like, oh, you know, I'm gonna find some. See, it's like the reason I'm heading over this way is because I think the lowest level Murloc camps are up here on the shore. Obviously, Murlocs are all around the shore. I think these are the lowest level Murloc camps. I actually do need to kill some of these for some more okra. I can probably 1v2 these, considering that they are time between attacks increased is really nice. I wonder how long that actually lasts. Lasts for a long time. Affect up to 4 targets for 10 seconds. That's a long time. That's a good debuff. But yeah, oh, there's some okra. Nice. But, you know, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Is, you know, the idea that they are, you know, I'm on my way to do this Murloc thing, and I will be looking around and will go, you know, there's a sack of oats there. That sort of might require me to fight some high level things, so I'm not going to go there. But then, you know, there might be some sack of oats. There'll probably be some sack of oats around this farm, won't there? You know, I can go check out here. I mean, I don't want to fight all this stuff, so but look, there's a sack of oats there, so I'll kill this guy to go get those sack of oats. I've also been thinking about this, which is something they never do anymore. And oh, I forgot to sell stuff. Shit. I thought I would sell stuff to the lady who I gave that last quest to, but I clearly didn't. Okay, I got 2 of them again. I'll find the clap. It's interesting. I don't know if it's better. This is another one of those things where it goes into the different way this game is designed, and I'm not sure if it's a better design decision than having everything quest items. So the upsides of having everything as quest items is obviously you won't have what I had if you were watching me streaming this yesterday or whenever. When I was worried about selling certain items, right? I don't want to sell these hops and this flask of oil, for instance, because I'm like, that might be a quest later. And I don't think it is. I think they're quite good for not doing too much, but I remember that happening from, you know, back in the day playing this game, where I would sell free, you know, I mean, free boar intestines. I don't think boar intestines are a quest item, but then they turn out to be, you know, stringy vulture meat. That is like the most generic meat icon they have for an item. Right? You get these sort of things, intestines and stuff, from other creatures all the time, and it's not a thing. Like, look at this, right? Oh no, they're all Gortos snouts. I just got more than I need. But, you know, boar ribs, that's not a quest item, that is a quest item, you know? That's the perfect example of this. One of these is a quest item, one of these isn't. You know, and that, for a less experienced player, is sort of hard to get around. I remember, as a kid, constantly going through the bag and going, like, sell, and then, like, looking at my quest and going, shit, and then checking the buyback, like, I accidentally sold the quest material because I wasn't concentrating. What's he doing to me? It's a dot. It's a dot and a debuff. Dude, that's nuts. That looks fucking crazy, dude. This isn't going well. I might have to drink a healing potion. Okay, no, I probably don't. Unless he fucking runs away and pulls someone, then I definitely do. Oh, he's gonna, isn't he? Inventory's full. Alright, potion. Cut him. I won't be able to potion again, so this is my last chance. And then I need to look at what I could throw away. Because I've made the mistake of not selling regularly enough. I'm going to let it go, and then I'm going to fade away. Pop! Oh, that didn't kill it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fucking run. This is my new plan, it's just run, right? Okay. So let's head back over here. Let's eat something, because that's a good way to get something out of our inventory for now. Oh, I got a cheap gun as well. See, fashion souls, that fits better with my gear, but... So that'll probably sell for a bit. Stuff like this. This is absolute trash. This will sell for, you know, low levels of copper. Grey name, and I've only got one of them. Right? That stuff is getting thrown the hell away. The hell away. Let's see how many actual different things we have and how many spaces we need in our inventory. So, interestingly, I believe I got a quest item. Okay, oh, these are something, actually, an interesting thing. Is there something I can throw away? Let's throw away these, even though I've got 3 of them. So, let's not get any of these yet. Because these you can open and get the clam meat out. And the clam meat does stack. But they themselves don't stack. And I believe I should get the quest, and then I shouldn't be able to pick up another one. Or whatever. Yeah, I don't need another one. I shouldn't be able to find another one now. Because I'm not meant to have them anyway. So I need to get some other guys. So let's just get these blue coast runners. I feel like when I see this, this is the 2-1 with charge from Hearthstone, you know. And then the Murloc Raider is obviously a Murloc Raider. Is that the 1-1 or 2-1? I think so. They run away at such a health that I just can't kill them fast enough. Can I 2v1 this? Let's give this a go. So I slam and I shout. And I get some more XP. Then I rend one, then I rend the other. And I'm back to the first one. And I have a potion if I need it, which I think I will. Alright, so make sure that one's dead. Pull this one back. Nice. Actually needing to use potions though is a nice little reminder of how much more difficult this game is. Oh fuck, I so almost died there, dude. No, fucking shoot him. Alright. And now I'm gonna eat some deep run rat kebabs. Oh, I can eat some Gortusk liver pies. I forgot they actually gave me some of those. This is a question about, do I want to actually level up cooking to try and cook stuff? I feel like later on that could become really useful in this game, right? I've also never been a sort of trader, sort of crafter sort of person in this game. Weirdly enough, I am in modern games now. In modern games now, I always want to level up the crafting, but for some reason in WoW, I never got into it. And it's not particularly badly designed or anything in WoW, I think I have all my child sort of opinions of this game from when I was super young. You know, I have this sort of... All my natural responses to this game are the same natural responses I had when I was playing this game and I was, you know, fucking 12 or whatever. Whereas, you know, when I play a new game, I don't have that, and so I sort of accept that it's a good thing to do and it's the way you will make the most money and... Yeah, I got 2 Murloc eyes. Yay. I hope I can pull this on its own. Okay, I can't. So let's just try and 1v2 these. Make sure my battle shell's still up. I'm gonna have to potion up again. Which in a way is kind of good because it gives me this more space in my bag. Alright, please, one of you give me Murloc eye. Why do none of you have eyes? Okay, always go with your lowest piles of food first, because when you finish those consumables, you will be very happy for the extra inventory space in a time like this. There's another 2 together, they're sort of in 2s over there. No, but this guy isn't. This guy is straight up on his own. Let's go. Murlocs are very much in this like goblins are in other games or imps are in this game as well. I feel like they always talk about imps as on their own not that dangerous, but you know, get into a pack. Except Murlocs sort of can still be pretty dangerous on their own sometimes. Oh, Murloc fin. I got so many Murloc fins. Alright, let's charge this guy because he seems to be out pretty much on his own. I've always had a trouble with Murlocs. Oh fuck. Yes! Look at that! The shotgun in the back that made him, for some reason, not want to kill me, even though I just murdered his friend. I'm gonna back off. Nice, he went a safe way. Bang. Okay. Find me. I got some milk. I don't need milk. It's times like these when I realise how sort of close I'm leaning into the screen, how into this I'm getting. I'm glad I don't have a webcam yet. I will put up a webcam soon though, because I know that people prefer streamers with webcams, and I used to not understand that, but I kind of do now. Like I used to be like, oh, why do you want a webcam? There's a stupid face in the corner, and I still feel like that, honestly, with YouTube videos, which sort of bad seeing as I'm going to be putting all these on YouTube. But you know, I can understand. Like with YouTube videos, I share the sort of Game Grumps opinion on it, where I'm like, why do you want to, like, you're not going to see anything interesting, right? Most of the time, you're just going to, like, 90% of the time, you're just going to see our face. You're just going to see my face there. But I feel like it's different with streaming, because streaming is meant to be, you know, a sort of a conversation between the streamer and the viewers, you know? And I feel like it personalizes more, like, you're more likely to type in chat and, you know, communicate with someone when there's a face there, rather than when it's just a voice from behind a video game, you know. Whereas when you're just watching someone for their video game and their commentary, like even when I get my webcam set up, my face isn't going to be interesting for anyone to watch, you know. I mean, I'm the sort of person who likes to sort of make faces at the camera and be quite emotive anyway when I used to stream, so maybe there'll be some moments, especially if I start streaming Hearthstone more. But generally, you know, it's going to be a lot of me just my mouth moving and my eyes staring, you know, straight towards the monitor. But I do feel like it sort of makes you more personable when you're streaming and when you want people to communicate and you want to be like, hey, guy who's watching, how are you, you know? It makes that more of a likely thing. And I have had with streamers where I've turned streams on and they haven't had a webcam and I just hear their voice pop up every now and again, and you don't feel like there's a person there that you're watching, you feel like you're just watching a game being played. You know? Yeah. I like how this quest is like, come back with the following ingredients, and it just gives you a list. Oh, dude, I think I never finished talking about this. I think I started talking about the pros of quest items, but I didn't talk about the interesting part of this. So the pros of quest items, obviously, you won't fuck up, you won't accidentally sell your stuff, you know what's a quest item and what's not a quest item. But the way that this becomes interesting is because, you know, it's trying to teach you about cooking, right? So it tells you to go out and get stuff which later on you can still get and you can still use for cooking. I like that. I also like that a lot of these, you know, they give you the recipe for them so you can learn to make this specific thing, like from this quest. That's cool as hell. I like that. And it's sort of the fact that it puts you in the mindset. It's one of those things of like games, with everything games do and all their mechanics, they're teaching you to play the game. And this is an example of that, where it's teaching you, like, it just says okra. And it's assuming maybe that I've got some okra from killing some before, but like I had to go like, where the fuck will I get okra from? And I went and just killed different types of stuff until I found it. And I had an inkling in my head that I think it might have been the what they called harvest golems, who used to be so broken but now are so undervalued. Yeah, I really think it's interesting, but it's one of those things where I don't actually know what's better, you know? I receive all that stuff. Fuck. Okay, hold on. Does this guy actually... Yes, he does. I thought he sold stuff. Special chicken feed. Restores 30 health. Interesting. That must be for a quest. Oh, I remember that. There's something like, if you feed them to these chickens... If you use this chicken feed on the chickens or something enough, you could get one of the chickens. I'm not going to try it because I don't want to just waste my time and stuff, but that is the sort of thing that I actually would, you know, if right now I'm desperately trying to remember what is and isn't quest items, you know, what I can and can't sell. I can sell all the boar meat. Murloc fin. Okay, I'm going to go complete the quest now so I can just sell everything and feel safe about it. Boom! Yay, level 14. See, I don't know which is better, you see, because I do like the idea that it's promoting you getting out in the world and sort of exploring this sort of stuff and being like, okay, you know. I'm going to sell these Gortos snouts and then I'm going to look through my quests. And if these Gortos snouts actually were something I was meant to keep, I'm going to flip out. Oh, dude, Westfall Stew is nuts, dude. I guess it has to be, seeing as it requires so much goddamn stuff to get. Alright, I'm going to put these recipes up there, and I'm going to use this as my my linen bag. And this is sort of food and stuff. Put my quest items there. That is consoled. This is stuff that I want to keep for selling or for sending to other people. I should put some of this stuff in the bank, you know. Like, I really should. I don't know what that... Actually, I can talk to him to find out what the quest is, can't I? The Killing Fields. So I need to kill Harvest Watchers. I think they actually want me to kill Harvest Watchers, which are the level 15 ones. I mean, I'm level 14 now. I could give that a go. This will take a long time, though. Well, let's check this out, because this is my last point before I can go up to the next thing. So I'm going to go with the parry. Parry's going to be my fallback if there's not enough points in a thing to level up, which I don't think will happen actually until up here. So I'll be like, by the time I get here, I'll be like level 30. But because these two will be 10 to 20. These two will be 20 to 30. So here I'll be like 30. My first point there will be 30. And then I probably won't do any of these three, so I'll probably then put points back into parry. But I just feel like, as I'm going to be soloing a lot of this stuff, I will be taking hits and just having the, you know... Use your words, Gareth, use your words. Having even the slight more defense will end up being really helpful, you know? Okay, yeah. I may need to, before I do this, either level up or get more food. Because I have 14 bits of food. If I do this, I will literally use all of them. I mean, I could level up some cooking and learn how to make Gortusk liver pies, and then, you know, buy back my Gortusk livers, and I know those snouts I saw. Just farm a load of Gortusk livers, I guess. But let's just try to do some of these. If I desperately need more, I can always go and buy some food off of him for not too much money. Also, I've hit 14. In this game, in case you didn't know, the leveling system works every 2 levels. You get a couple of new skills or level to your skills, and you need to go back and buy them every time, which I don't necessarily think is a good system. That's another one of the systems where if they remade it, I wouldn't mind them changing it up a bit. I feel like this is gonna take too long and be too much to do right now. I feel like I should come back here at maybe level 16. This is the sort of quest that, like, right now I'm like, I don't want to do. But if there was another guy here trying to do it well, I would invite them to the party and I would do this right now. So, let's maybe check. I could go and do some of those, get the pocket watch, go for Knowles, stuff like that. Red leather bandanas. Maybe I should maybe this should be a thing. Maybe every time I come back to this field, I clear it out of Harvest Watchers. Right? Because it's only 3. So, you know, about 3 or 4, maybe a few more spawns of Harvest Watchers around here. So, if just every time I come through an area with Harvest Watchers I kill them, this could be another one of those things where you don't just sit in an area and farm it, you use it as a, you know, as a bar that you will be filling up across your entire trip through a certain area. Oh, I've almost got all my oats. Okay, this is actually like a good amount for an episode, but I do feel like I kind of want to play this a bit more. I don't know if I want to do another whole episode of this dude, but I still have a bit of this left. I feel like if I headed over, because I think the pocket watch is over here. I don't know if I can do that on my own. I'm sure I can do that on my own now. I'm like level 14 now. I'm going to head over there and see if I can grab his pocket watch. If I can grab his pocket watch, maybe find the rest of the seeds for Blanchy, and kill a few more Harvest Watchers. These ones. And that could be really, really good. That could be a nice play session, you know? And then I have technically played 2 play sessions, although the first one was short, and I'm not sure I'd count that as like quite a whole one. So maybe I'll do a longer PlayStation 2 and then a longer PlayStation 3 to make up for how short it was or something. You know. Okay, that's only a coyote, so I don't need to be too scared of it. This is the problem with fighting these, though, is that these things are seriously of the sort of situation where if 2 of them, if I aggro 2 of them, I just gotta run. There's no like, I'll see if I can, you know, if I can 1v2 these guys. It's like, no, you run. I need to kill these gnolls as well at some point. I won't do that right now. I don't feel as safe clearing out this field of Harvest Watchers as I did with the other field, because this field has other stuff in and around, you know. It's not the sort of nice empty, you know, these things are placed around. Like if I aggroed that, I could accidentally aggro the Defias dude there. Okay. These, I believe, what level are they? They're 13, so they could be the guys I'm looking for the other quest, but it didn't come up. Where's the next People's Militia? I need pillagers and looters. Yeah, so these guys are not the guys I'm looking for. Let's pull this guy over here. That's another add-on I probably would want for this, is to show me these remaining times on there, and to have cooldown times on here. Although on this guy none of these spells actually have that long of a cooldown. So I need to look in here. Okay, there's at least one guy in there. Yeah, and there's Benny Blanco. See, he's going to be sort of hard. Oh my god, yes. If I can... Oh no, I can't. I was hoping I could aggro one of them. Maybe I can just, like, fight this guy at a range where he will go away. No. Okay. Well, let's see if I can mash this guy down. I have a potion I can take. It's a bigger potion than last time. Right. Yes. Okay. So I managed to kill that guy. And then, you can't charge in combat. Fuck. Make sure he's bleeding. I think I have just about enough. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna run in here before they spawn and take the pocket watch. Because even though I'm sure they've got a while until they spawn again, that was pretty hard. Oh my god. Get out of here. That's a quest hub now. In modern WoW. Did you know that? Some guys on the back. I don't know if anything happens around the back of there in vanilla WoW. I think that might be a anything. Oh, have I completed Port Blanchie? I have. Nice. Okay, should I do the null pause? Is the new question. The question is, can I catch one of these out without pulling all of them? If I can just pull that one... No. Nope, 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 nope. That's the problem with a lot of the quests like these. Like, you can't actually get stuff from camps very easily without pulling all of them. And I can't fight all of them. I can only fight these things one by one. I could probably 1v2 these, actually, but not 1v4. But I'll kill a few of these. Get a few null pause. I want to try and just get those two when they're not together, but I might just abandon this now, actually. That's something that I need to do later on. I have a null pool in there to remind me now to get null pause. But I don't want to make this any more obscenely long than it is. So let's go hand in these quests. I have killed 5 out of 20 Harvest Watchers. That is alright. It's a good start. I have got my first null pour. I haven't found any of those yet, but I've got 6 out of 15 red level bandanas. That's good. And I got a treasure map, and I am now high enough level to go and try this stuff to get that sick chainmail chest piece if I want. It's also shield, but spirit, yeah, and some robes, but robes, yeah. Look at that dude. That dude's got a cool looking shield. Why do I have this little dumb looking buckler? Oh no, shit. They're on this road, aren't they? Well, let's see. They didn't give us anything. I'm not going to level up from them. Do they give me any interesting gear? I'll get that, I guess, but it's probably not good. It's better than what I got. Fair enough. Get a bag, which I'm not going to use because it's but not very good. That's a different quest. Yeah, and then I'll grab some bread. So yeah. I'm just going to go hand this in, and I don't think I need to keep recording this. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. If you're watching on Twitch and you want to see when I'm streaming again, I'll be streaming shortly after this, playing something a bit more casual with some music on. If you're watching me on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff, if you have enjoyed this show. And I see you next time.